We are so thankful for our partners on the ground who continue to serve even as war rages in Ukraine, many of them risking their lives to bring aid and hope to those who remain. One of them is our partner, Ed Dickson, who joins me now. Ed, thanks for joining me.
Thank you, Cheryl. It's great to be here.
It's so great to see you in person, and you just got back from another trip to Ukraine not that long ago. You actually ventured into some really scary areas where war is raging. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so the workers with us, they're going in there every day. And I had the opportunity to go in with them and to bring groceries to people right on the front line. And it was unbelievable. Like bombs were going off near us. We could hear them extremely loud. And even just on the hedge, on the other side of the hedge, we could hear machine gun fire. There were soldiers firing at drones that were up in the sky. We were standing right by them. And you'd think, just the way I described it, that I would be really afraid.
Yeah.
But the reality was there's grandmothers and children living in those areas right now where this war is blazing, and you can't help but feel fear, not for yourself, but for them. And we would even plead with them sometimes, like, please, how can we, like giving them groceries, but what else? Can we take you out? Can we move you somewhere? And very often they would say, where would we go? What would we do? And so it was really hard to describe, just the emotions and everything we went through being there.
Yeah, and you've helped thousands of people evacuate out of those, frontline areas. Why? I don't understand why they wouldn't go with you.
I think that it's the fear of the unknown. Like they have no idea, for example, that people in Canada are just opening their doors to people and just helping. And I think there's a fear on their part, like they might get somewhere and it might be even worse than where they are because they don't know. And so it's a matter of us trying to help them to understand, like, there are great places you can go. There's help you can get, but for whatever reason, they're just kind of feeling that they need to stay there.
Yeah, I can understand it's scary either way. But when you came back, you brought this incredible picture that you share with me of over 100 pastors and leaders that you met with, and they looked so joyful. Mm-hmm. Why were they joyful, Ed? Like bombs are falling.
It's unbelievable because I've told this to many people, and it's hard to believe, but there's an amazing revival happening right now all across Ukraine. We're seeing most of the churches that we're working with have at least 3 times as many people in their churches right now as they did a year ago. Some of the churches, it's 10 times, 20 times the amount of people that are in the churches. Many of the churches we're working with are constantly begging us for more chairs, asking us to help them to purchase new buildings, to break down walls inside their sanctuaries so they can seat more people. And I even had one pastor, this is going to sound a little crazy, but he's sitting with me and he said, Ed, I have to be careful where I say this, but I want to say, thank God for the war. And as shocking as that is, if you think about it, this war has brought people just to the brink of existence, so much so that they begin to cry out to God and they begin to come into the churches. They're praying with the pastors. They're asking, for help. And it's really been, I would say, probably just a rough estimate. We've probably seen at least 2 million people in the past year that have come to Christ just in Ukraine. It's a revival beyond anything that we even prayed for over the last 25 years. And yet it's happening right now. And so that's why these pastors who've been praying for this for all this time, they're seeing it happen. In the midst of trouble and turmoil and death, they're seeing revival happen on the other side. And it's a paradox. It's just an amazing thing.
I love you telling that story because we don't hear about it in the headlines. We're not hearing about it in the news, but God is at work, and that's so like him in the midst of even hardship. Just quickly, what are the needs that you're finding right now in Ukraine?
Basically, like more than anything, the pastors are asking for food, for even like soap and detergent and like all kinds of things that we're able to purchase right there. And because so many people have lost their jobs, So many people are like just struggling financially, especially the seniors. Like they're on pensions, many of them for about $50 a month. That's all they have to live on. And we're able to, through the churches, provide for them, to make sure that they're, to visit them and see what their needs are. And the churches have become a place of light, like a genuine place of light in a very dark area right now for God in those regions. And so being able to supply those churches with those needs, and you guys are helping with us with like getting this food, delivering it to them. It's really changing lives right now.
Oh, well, Ed, we're so thankful for you and the people in your network that are risking their very lives to do this work. So thank you for bringing this update. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
If you want to give and support the work in Ukraine, we would love to invite you to do that. The needs continue. We want to keep partnering with people like Ed to make a difference right on the front lines. That number is 1-800-265-3100. You can also give online at crossroads.ca/Ukraine. And thank you so much for all you're doing to help.